right, so for today's warm-up, we're going to do a bunch of jumping drills, and then we're going to progress into getting to box jumps. So to start off, we're going to pick a line on the floor, and we're just going to do some nice little hops with 2 feet on either side of the line. So we want to pick a spot and hit that every time, and we want to be gentle on our landing every single time. So we're going to go for about 10 seconds, side to side, and then we're going to go 10 seconds, front and back. Then we're going to go on our right leg. We're going to go side to side again, and then on our left leg. And then we'll go front and back on our right, and front and back on our left. So again, every single one is about 10 seconds long. They can take a little bit of a break in between each one. Now we're going to do some high skips. So for this, we're just jumping up, landing, jumping up, landing, jumping up, and landing. If they feel like they have to pee at all during these movements, we're just going to focus on leaning forward a tiny little bit. So forward, 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 and so on. So we want to do about 10 seconds of that as well. Now we're going to go into some jumping lunges. So for our jumping lunges, we are going to get them to lean forward, again, just a tiny bit to change their pelvis. Okay, so now we're going to do some jumping lunges. So for this part, we're just going to get them to lean forward a little bit so that it changes the angle of their pelvis so it doesn't feel like they have to pee whenever they are jumping. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a basic jumping lunge. So we're going to go down and up. We're going to focus on staying nice and gentle, absorbing the force at the bottom. So if they feel like they're going to pee at all when they're doing this, we are going to tell them to inhale down and exhale up, and then again focusing on leaning forward just a little bit. So we're going to go it's kind of hard to do thinking about your breathing while you're doing that, so if they're a little bit slower with their jumping lunges, that is okay. So we want to do that for about 10 seconds again. After this, we're going to do our single leg jump, landing in our double leg. So for this, we're on one leg, we're going to jump up high and land with both legs. So we're actually going to put both arms back and jump and land on both legs, absorbing the force whenever we land. After that, we are going to do some skater jumps. So we're going to start with small jumps and then progressing to bigger jumps. So we're just going to go nice and easy side to side. And if this feels good, they can go a little bit bigger, a little bit higher, really absorbing the force again here. Now we're going to progress over to our box jumps without actually jumping on our box. So we're going to do the force drill to start. So for this, we're going to have our arms up. We're going to go down and big hip drive forward. So again, arms up, back, and forward. If it feels like they're going to pee while they're doing this, they're going to exhale while they're coming up before they would actually jump. So arms up, down, and exhale. And up, down, and exhale. Okay, so this again just changes their pelvic pressure a little bit and helps them out with that. All right, so for our next one, we are going to do a force absorption drill. So it's basically the same as what we just did, but we're going to actually jump a little bit. So we're going to have our arms up, arms back, and jump, absorbing our landing. So again, up, down, and jump, and absorb our landing. If it feels like they are going to pee again with this, we just blow out a little bit before we jump again. So, and it should help with that. And then we land in a strong position. For our next one, we're going to do a depth drop. So this is whenever we drop off of one leg and land on our 2 legs, absorbing the landing. So we're going to drop and be gentle on our feet when we land. We don't really want to hear our feet land, so we don't want to go so that we hear them. We want to absorb the drop. So we're going to go down nice and gently. We can do 5 on one leg, 5 on the other. After that, we're going to do a depth drop to hop or a broad jump. You can kind of do both if you'd like. Start with just with the hop and then progress into the broad jump. So we're going to drop again, land, and hop. So again, we're going to drop, land, and hop. Or we can do into our broad jump. So we're going to drop, again, drop. And for every movement, we always want to absorb that landing. So for our next one, we're actually going to jump on the box. We can, if they're scared to jump on the box, we can grab a couple 45-pound plates, maybe 1 plate, maybe 2 plates. We use a small 12-inch box, maybe go up to the 18-inch black box that we have. So we really want to make sure we use our arms to be able to get those legs up, use as much momentum as we can to get on the box. So we're going to do the same thing as earlier. We want them to land high on the box. We don't want them to land in a squat. So we're just going to jump and then up. What's important for landing on the box is we want to make sure that their butt is back. We don't want them to land with their knees forward. When your pelvis is in this position, you might feel like they have to pee a little bit. So again, we drop, jump, we absorb the landing, and then we stand up. We also don't want to we want to make sure that they don't overextend their hips at the end. So we don't want them to finish like this. We just want them to come into a neutral standing position. So we're going to jump, absorb the landing, and stand. Jump, absorb the landing, and stand. So once they feel good with jumping on the lower plate or the lower box, we can always get them to jump up to a little bit of a higher box. We just want to make sure that we get them jumping onto something today to see how it feels, how their pelvic floor feels, and just get them progressing towards box jumps. And that's all we have for today.